Hello there, this is Lois. It's been a while, it's been a minute. I was away, I was doing a few things here and there, but I am back and I want to make a very quick video on a few tips to keep your kids busy throughout the year to help your kids transition, and this is aimed at newcomer parents. Okay? It's just a few things that helped me when my children came over, and I know they have also helped a few other parents because when we come to Canada, we immigrate. It's usually the parents' dream to immigrate. Okay? We are the people who fantasize. Kids can thrive anywhere. But then we bring our children with us, and if we are not careful, they can be caught in the middle. We can lose them while we're busy trying to chase our dreams. We can lose our kids because change is hard to everybody. The same way we are trying to adjust and adapt and learn and unlearn things, the same thing happens to the children because they're also trying to adapt. They have left their environment, they have left their friends, they have left their lives behind, and they're starting life afresh here. They don't have friends, the school system is different, the weather is different, everything is different. Okay, so we need to help them transition. We need to help them feel at home, find new friends, find good activities, engage them, because we really need to engage our children in this community, especially. What you're going to find as a newcomer is there's a lot of things, there's variety here of activities, and technology is very advanced. The children's rights, a few things you just can't do, like you can't spank your kids the way we spank kids elsewhere. So it's a little different, and that change can be a little unsettling. So we need to mitigate that. We need to help our children, keep them busy, show them around, hold their hands, so that then they can transition easily without trouble, without falling into depression, without falling into bad activities, without getting into trouble. And when our kids don't get into trouble, then they are able, they also hit the ground running like we want to. Okay, so when they hit the ground running, they're able to find new friends, they're able to find great activities, they're able to to like and know this place, to know what is Canada, what does Canada have for me as a child. So then that way we set them up for success, and we all belong and thrive, and we feel that Canada is home for all of us and our children. Okay, so what I noticed here, we need to keep our children busy, because we go to work, we don't have a lot of us don't have the privilege of nannies. So as a parent, you need to be very, very intentional in your parenting. And I know you're working hard to achieve all the dreams that you want to achieve, but you have to be very present in your children's lives. Very present, very intentional. Be in the, know what they are doing, who they are meeting, who their friends are, how school was, is homework done, get to figure out D2L, Google, whatever, all those programs they use, Google Docs, and D2L, and another one I learned the other day, I can't even remember the name. Get involved and know how those things work, right? Then the government of Canada has a lot of resources to help newcomers, and especially those ones with young families and children who are going to school and youth. So I'm just going to list a few of those that I know of, and those resources offer very good programs for children, and most of them are almost free. And then you can see just which one you can pick that can keep kids engaged. They want to get there and become socially active, know people, meet people, do activities, feel like they belong, feel like, oh, you know what? They are not secluded. So what I know is the city, especially here in Calgary, the city of Calgary has recreational centers. Go to the recreational centers, get your kids registered there, let them go for swimming, for all the other activities. Recreational centers are full of activities, a lot of activities. There's soccer, there's basketball, there's gyms, there's so much. Go get your children registered. If you feel like you don't have money because maybe you just came, if you've done your taxes, get your notice of assessment, and most likely you're going to fall within that category of low income earners. You get subsidies to the recreational centers, the same way you get subsidies for transit. So the first year, which is quite hard, can be, it becomes easier when you get subsidies. So go look for subsidies, and maybe I can do another video on that is extensive on the subsidies that you can get. So get subsidies to the recreational centers. If you haven't done your taxes and you know that you're not making enough money to be able to register your children to the recreational centers, you can always get a social worker in your community, a community social worker. Go to them, get them to write you a letter that you take to the city of Calgary. I think it's called fee assistance. You take it to the city of Calgary fee assistance, and once it's approved, you get subsidies on recreational centers and transit. Okay? Then the other thing, as I said, you need to be very present in your children's life. Or I cannot emphasize that. If you're able to do that, go to their schools and volunteer. There's so many opportunities to volunteer. Go volunteer. Be a teacher helper. Volunteer as a chaperone during trips. Go volunteer during pancakes days, hot dog days, whatever days they have in school. Please go volunteer. Make yourself known in school. Go know your child's teachers and their friends. Go see how classrooms are run. That way your presence makes your children comfortable. Because what I've seen, like when a mom or a dad is available when they are present in school, their children become more confident. They also want to get involved. And the more we get involved ourselves, the more we volunteer, the more we teach our children how to volunteer and offer and serve. And it's a very good quality that we want to teach our children, especially in this culture. That quality of volunteering, of serving. If you can, go do that. The other thing you want, if you belong to a church, be engaged. Let your children join the youth, do something, volunteer. Children's camps. Churches offer camps also. I know like our church offers summer camps, which are really, really good. And that way you know where your child is going for summer camp and the kind of activities they'll be doing. So get involved in the church. Get involved in the community. If you have a community center, go get registration. Go see what happens there. Become involved. And when you become involved, take your children with you, because there's so many activities that also happen in the community centers. You will be surprised at the number of things that you can do at your community center. Okay? One thing that I cannot emphasize enough, and it's there in almost all our communities, library. Please take your children to the library. The library is free of charge. And you're going to find that libraries have a lot of activities throughout the year that run, and it doesn't matter. You can register at whatever library you want to register. They have robotics. I know they have coding. They have homework helpers. There's so much. And also cultivate that culture of reading. Teach your children how to read in their spare time, not just gadgets, all the time gadgets. They can read a book. The other thing, teach your children to get out of the house, not every day just sitting on their bums. No. Get out of the house, go for walks. We have awesome parks. Whether it's winter, as long as it's not even minus whatever, minus 20, we get the habit of getting out of the house. Teach your children to go for walks, bikes, ride bikes, ride skateboards, do whatever, as long as they get out of the house. And what I've seen in some of the neighborhoods, in the communities, when you go to the community center, the city of Calgary, I realized they have places where they bring some activities during summer and wintertime. Wintertime, they do skating, and in summertime, they do skateboarding. And they have someone to train your kids and watch them. You just have to sign up, to sign a waiver, just so that, Yeah, so get your children active. Get active, all of you, if you can. Then that way, they do not always have to sit down and be on their gadgets and internet and all that thing. The other thing that I really love, the cadet. The government has this cadet program, and there's the Navy cadet, there's the Army cadet, and there's the Air cadet. I tell you, those programs have awesome activities for children. Weekly programs. They run weekly programs in the evenings after school, and once in a while, these kids are going for camp. They have band, they have marksmanship, they have gliding, depending on whatever cadet system you are on. Very neat programs for your children to get involved in. There's police cadet, that I know. I think someone told me there's fire cadet. I still haven't seen that, but I think there's also the fire cadet. So that's something I need to research on. Okay. The other thing, I know there's the Calgary Big Brother and Sister. And that program offers mentorship to your children. They have appointed people who help your children in transition. So they guide your kids on the Canadian culture, how to adapt and all that kind of stuff. So that's also a program that you can check. Then there's the Bridge Foundation for Youth, CBFY. That program is really good. They have mentorships in school, and I know they are there in lots of high schools here in Calgary. And the other thing I know, they also run summer programs. Come on, it's spring break right now, and we have our kids at home for a week. Come on, a whole week they don't have to do anything. Summer is coming. They have 2 whole months at home. What are we going to do with them? So look at the CBFY, the Calgary Bridge Foundation for Youth. Check them out. They have summer programs where they offer summer camps, and you pay something very little, very, very little. I think it's 100, 150, 200, I can't remember. But they have programs, summer camps for 3 weeks, and they take your kids. Also check around. This place is full of summer programs, and I know most of them are really costly. That's why I'm trying to give you those ones which are almost free. Then check out the Duke of Edinburgh. If you have youth, check out the Duke of Edinburgh. They have a lot of leadership activities, volunteering, just things that foster leadership in your children, in your youth. So check them out. Another one which was really neat, that I think you should also check out, is the Two-Wheel View. Oh my goodness. It's a very good program. You pay money, but your kids go to ride bikes. And while they're riding bikes, they do some community work. They explore, they get the sense of adventure. So check them out. They ride bikes at times from Drumheller to Banff. At times they go to Quebec and Montreal. So check them out. They're really nice programs for your children. And I don't think I have left anything out. If I have and you know something, kindly reach out to me. I would like to share it with newcomer parents, because I know as a newcomer parent, you want to be armed with all the information that you can get. Okay? And I'll be making another video on taxes. I know it's almost, the tax season is almost over, but I'll make a video. All right? So subscribe, stay tuned, and thank you very much. Bye.